Hey guys, I hope you're having an awesome day today. My name is Steve. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to be learning about Manchester. I really don't know much of anything at all about Manchester, but I thought it was about time that I dive in and learn about another unique city within the UK. So far on this journey, I haven't really explored individual cities as much as I would like. It's definitely something I need to do a little bit more often going forward. Sure, I've learned a number of different things about London, explored some towns like Bath, for instance, but I really haven't dived in and learned about the unique cities as much as I'd like. So hopefully I'll do that going forward. And so I thought we'd go ahead and start this with Manchester. I've heard about Manchester a lot, but I really don't know anything about it, except I'm under the impression that you guys in Manchester love your football. And I think you have a really popular football team. I believe they are Manchester United, if I'm not mistaken. Please let me know in the comment section if that is correct. But outside of that, guys, I really don't know anything at all about Manchester. And so I know that it's one of the larger cities in the UK. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to go ahead and explore it. So let's go ahead and check out Manchester Vacation Travel Guide.
In the 1800s, Manchester, England was the epicenter of the Industrial Revolution. Manchester's story is often shrouded in the smog and soot of Charles Dickens' novels, but this is a city with a glorious past.
That's pretty big.
Perhaps an even greater future.
I mean, not London big, but still pretty big.
It's been said, what Manchester thinks today, the world thinks tomorrow. Manchester is a city of firsts. This is the world's first truly modern city, the place where mankind first split the atom.
Oh, wow.
The birthplace of the first modern
It's
computer.
an interesting looking building.
Manchester's story begins here, in Castle Field, where the many chapters of the city's story...
What building is that? It's an interesting looking building. What is this? It's very modern looking. So far, I'm getting the vibe that Manchester started off as a very industrial city, but has switched over to be a little bit more modern. And maybe is there a lot of technological companies there or technology companies there? Let me know in the comments, guys.
Where the many chapters of the city's story merge into one. Explore the remains of the Roman fort, built to guard an ancient river crossing. Wander the banks of the Bridgewater Canal, whose completion in 1761 is regarded as the beginning of the Industrial Revolution.
Oh, okay. That's why they're saying they're like the beginning of the Industrial Revolution.
Admire the warehouses and mills, which once numbered in the thousands and generated incredible wealth for the city. While in the background is Beetham Tower, a symbol of a city once again on the rise.
That's what that is. Okay. What is that?
As the city's fortune swelled in the 19th century, so did its civic pride. Manchester's elites saw the city as the new Venice and commissioned grand buildings.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful, man. I love this almost old world architecture. And this is something we do not have in the US hardly ever. I never see this type of square where you have this huge amount of these pavers lined out, and you have like this beautiful statue thing in the middle. They exist, but they're very rare. And it seems like you guys in the UK have a lot more of these. I love these types of squares. They're great places to meet up with people and stuff like that. And they're beautiful, man. I'm so envious of the architecture you guys have over there, man. We don't have a lot of beautiful buildings like this. Sure, we have some nice buildings, but not this old world style very much,
Taking architectural inspiration from across the ages.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. I'm a sucker for beautiful buildings now.
Manchester's crowning glory is its town hall, built to rival the great buildings of London.
Wow.
Admire the incredible Victorian
That
Gothic
is
exterior,
beautiful, man.
lavish staterooms, and murals which celebrate the city's history. This is a building that proclaimed, "This is Manchester, and we've arrived."
Yeah, it's very nice.
For 2 centuries, Manchester's merchants went on a spending spree, scouring the world in search of cultural treasures to fill their stately homes. Many of these treasures now reside in the city's museums and galleries. At the Manchester Art Gallery, explore the works of the Pre-Raphaelites, Britain's first radical art movement, and more contemporary works which continue to challenge.
Wait, hold on. What was that? What is that? Is that the ceiling?
More contemporary works which continue to challenge.
What is that? So it seems like you guys are definitely moving forward in a very modern way.
At the Manchester Museum, step into a Gothic revival time capsule housing millions of items from a T-Rex skeleton called Stan to one of the UK's most important Egyptology collections.
Oh, wow. I'd love to visit some stuff like that, man.
This city enjoys a proud philanthropic tradition, perhaps the city's greatest.
Do you see that? It's just like everywhere you look, there's a different type of architecture. It's beautiful. I love that. I love it's just the diversity of buildings, I guess you would say. The diversity of architecture. Yeah. You know, before I started this journey, I never knew how much I love beautiful buildings, how much I admire, architecture. And, seeing all the beautiful buildings you guys have over in the UK, I've started falling in love with architecture. I still don't really know, a lot about what you call this type of building or that type of building. I just know I love the look of them, and I just find them interesting.
Perhaps the city's greatest was Enriqueta Rylands, whose gift to the city was the John Rylands Library.
Wow.
Dedicated to Manchester's largest textile magnet in the 10
what
years it took
a
to create
beautiful
the
library
masterpiece, the widow acquired 40,000 books and oversaw every last detail, a labour of love for her late husband
Wow.
and the people of Manchester.
I love a good library,
Manchester has long understood the power of knowledge. In 1653, the Cheetham Library became the country's first free public library and has been open to all ever since.
Whoa! How old are these books? That's crazy, man. These are obviously extremely old. I love a good library, but my wife loves a library even more than I do. She would be in love with this library. Absolutely. I could spend all day in here. She could spend weeks in here.
Let your fingertips wander the Tudor-era shelves, then step into the room where Frederick Engels and Karl Marx began to write the Communist Manifesto, a work inspired by the crushing conditions the city's workers once endured.
Wait. The Communist Manifesto was wrote in Manchester? No way. Really? That don't seem right. Anyway, okay. Doesn't matter, but that's interesting.
Revolution and reform run deep in Manchester's waters, housed in a restored Edwardian pump house in the People's History Museum, which celebrates those who challenged Britain's rigid political and class systems. Stand before the simple desk where Thomas Paine penned The Rights of Man, a book that helped ignite the revolutionary fires in America and France.
Wow.
At the world's oldest surviving railway station, you'll find the Museum of Science and Industry. In the museum's power hall, feel the heat and steam that powered the shafts and wheels which once made Manchester the Empire's engine room. From textile looms to locally produced aircraft and motor vehicles, this museum is both a fascinating journey through the city's glory days and a peek into the future. The Imperial War Museum North is designed to resemble the shards of a world shattered by conflict. Manchester knows well
Look at
the
that
horrors
building.
of war. During the Manchester Blitz, thousands of German bombs rained down upon the city. In typical Mancunian fashion, this museum strips away the pomp and glory of war and reminds us instead of its human cost. After the 1950s, Manchester's fortunes went into a serious decline and the city was all but written off as a post-industrial basket case. But in recent decades, the city began to awaken once more, largely thanks to its youthful creativity. A succession of bands like Joy Division, The Smiths, The Stone Roses and Oasis shook up the foundations
That's where Oasis is
of
from?
music and put Manchester back on the map.
Wow.
Explore the city's incredible musical heritage in areas like the Northern Quarter and pick up some rare vinyl along the way.
Oh man, you don't see those types of stores very often anymore.
Around Canal Street, which perfectly encapsulates the Mancunian ideals of tolerance, self-expression, and good times. But if there is one source of pride that truly unites this city, it's its two football clubs. Manchester City and Manchester United.
Okay, I was right, Manchester United.
In 1968, Manchester United became the first English club to become European champions. Today, the club enjoys a global fan base in the millions.
That's how I know
the
it.
National Football Museum in the city
Very
centre.
popular.
Or better still, time your visit for a match at Old Trafford,
Wow.
Manchester's theatre of dreams, since 1910.
That's one hell of a stadium, man.
Manchester may no longer be England's industrial powerhouse, but it's a city that's never stopped dreaming. Right across the city, daring new projects, innovations and ideas continue to capture the world's attention. In this city of firsts, the only question is, what will Manchester do next?
That's a good video, guys. Gave me a quick overview about what Manchester's about. And I'm under the impression that Manchester started off as a very industrialized place. Like they said, they had thousands of factories at one point, and then, the industrial age kind of come to a close, and eventually Manchester kind of fell off the map a little bit. They kind of wrote Manchester off, but it's come back with a vengeance, it seemed like. And it looks like Manchester has turned into a creative powerhouse. That's the vibe I'm getting here. This looks like a great place to, go check out some museums. Seems like you got a lot of museums, but it seems like a great place to come and explore creativity. It seems like you guys have a lot of music heritage in the city. I don't know. Wow. Okay. But yeah, I think this would be a pretty cool city to go visit. Especially, I don't have. I think this would be a really great place to go see a professional football match, because I've never have. I don't have any experience really with watching football. We call it soccer here, and growing up I played soccer, but it wasn't something that I ever took serious, never had a team that I followed or anything like that. It's just a game I enjoyed playing, but I never really watched football or anything. But, I definitely want to, explore that, see if I, how I like watching the game. And I think going somewhere like Manchester United, obviously, I think is a really good football team. One of the best. I don't know that for sure. I'm just under the impression because it seems to be so popular. Somehow I know the name, and they talk about how this, I think it really is a popular football team. So I think, and what a beautiful stadium this is, guys. What a beautiful stadium. Is that what you would call this? I think you guys would call this a stadium as well, right? Or let's see, Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Do you call it a stand? But all in all, guys, yeah, definitely I'll drop by Manchester at some point when I'm in the UK. I think it'd be a really cool place to kind of explore some history. And you guys look like you have some really interesting architecture there. And like I said, especially the creative stuff. I think it'd be really interesting to check out some of that history as well. But all in all, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Till next time, guys. Peace.